New Line Cinema Studios has developed another horror film for 2019, which will guarantee to have you jump from your seat. Scared.
Oh, Father.
From the same brilliant minds behind The Conjuring, Insidious, Lights Out, Sinister, The Conjuring 2, Sinister 2, Annabelle, Annabelle Creation, Demonic, the other 3 Insidious sequel movies, and The Nun, comes a whole new tale randomly picked out from a Mexican folklore and blended with cliché jump scares. Brings you The Curse of La Llorona. This movie is going to make such a killing from the box office grossings. If you have an overwhelming market that watches these horror genres, and you add in the movie story that panders to Latino audiences, which have been the second largest rate of moviegoers for 7 years, and you end up with a financially successful film. I know I've said this before in my other videos, but it still baffles me how James Wan's horror methods have opened up a gold mine for up-and-coming directors in the filming industry. James Wan's jump scare formula has proven to be an easy opportunity for amateur directors to make a name for themselves in Hollywood, and for studios to be financially safe making profits. The same cheap methods will be used for this upcoming Spanish folklore-based myth. If you love Paranormal Activity, the marked ones, then you're definitely gonna like The Curse of La Llorona. So this movie derives its story from a Mexican folklore about a ghost of a woman who lost her children and now cries while looking for them, often causing misfortune to those who hear her or are near her. This myth is very mainstream within the Hispanic community. The film Mama was inspired by the same lore. First problem I have with the trailer is that it doesn't give you a narrative plot idea. I understand that trailers shouldn't give you too much information, but we're not given any except for the ghost in white and the name Llorona. It's like the studio knows it's been force-feeding these style of horrors down your throat all these years, so they just assume you have an idea or understanding what this movie will be about. The trailer's advertising jump scares instead of a story, which brings me to my second problem with the trailer. Why are they already spoiling the movie with 2 predictable scare scenes in the movie? Lastly, why is the studio whitewashing The Curse of La Llorona? Linda Cardellini is the lead for this film. I'm not of Latin descent, but I'd be pretty upset about this film if I was. Black Panther had an African American lead. Crazy Rich Asian had a Chinese American lead. I guess the studio didn't want to have this movie focus entirely on the Latino community. So they put an Italian, Irish, German, English, and Scottish descent lead in this film. Seriously? They couldn't get Salma Hayek or someone else to play the lead? Latino American audiences have dominated cinema movie-going attendance for more than 6 years, selling 48% of all tickets sold in theaters. Latinos are avid moviegoers, but you rarely see them portrayed on screen with serious roles. When is the market for these horror films gonna end? Whatever happened to the thought-out horror flicks that made you talk about a scene or made you think about its political or social message? That's what's wrong with all 15 of these cheesy, market-generating jump scare movies. None of them have any subtext. Carrie was about bullying. The Mist had people losing their humanity in the face of an uncompromising enemy. Dawn of the Dead was a cultural apathy and consumerism. The Exorcist showed what happens to kids with triggered repressed feelings, leading to emotional crisis. James Wan has introduced a horror genre within a cinema industry that gives nothing to audiences. These type of movies never have fresh or new ideas, no hidden messages, meanings, or no decent plot. All they're selling you is senseless and mediocre jump scares. This cheesy movie is being released on April 19th, 2019 worldwide. This film's target audiences should really just be teenage couples on dates. The guys will need their lady friends scared and vulnerable for after the movie. That's the only use these jump scare movies have to satisfy their audiences. Nothing else. Thank you for listening.